Welcome everyone to this week's video. Today we are on Herp Monday number 39. I'm sorry it took me so long to get this out to you. Certain things have happened, but I hope I make up for it with this new answer. Today we are going to be talking about one of the coolest lizards in North America. You've heard of it. You love it. We're talking about the Gila Monster. So Gila Monster, or scientific name Heloderma suspectum, and that's Heloderma suspectum, is part of the family Helodermatidae. It is the only genus in the family with, there are 5 species total. So there's one genus, 5 species. All of them are actually venomous. The Gila Monster is found in southwestern United States and Mexico. So Arizona, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, and Sonora, Mexico. That's where this is really well known. They are found in scrublands, deserts, but interesting enough, they are actually found in some oak woodlands, so like light oak forests. They're found in a lot more varied habitat than people think. Most of the time when people think Gila monsters, they think open desert, rocks and things like that. And while the rocks are true, they're really, the open deserts are not where these are found. These actually need shelter, burrows, thickets. They need to be under rocks. These almost require shelter. In fact, they spend 90% of their life underground, which tells you how much they cover themselves. Now, they try not to live in open areas. That would make sense, though. If they're spending 90% of their time underground, they don't really want to be on a wide open plain. They want to be under the rocks. They want to be in those super thick thickets. But something interesting enough is that these actually depend on outside water sources. Many desert animals will use the vegetation and their food items as their sole source of water, their liquid intake. These actually really depend on outside water sources. In fact, that one of the easiest way to find them in those rare summer rain, they can be found in the puddles of water. Now, obviously, this is a large lizard. It's the largest extant lizard species native to North America, north of the Mexican border. How big are they, though? Well, their snout to vent length ranges from 26 to 36 centimeters. So think 10 to 14. And their tail, so snout to vent is their snout right before their tail starts. Their tail is about 20% of their overall body size. Largest specimens can get up to 51 to 56 centimeters, so 20 to 22 inches in length total. And they weigh about 550 to 800 grams, so about 1.2 to 1.76. So they are a big lizard, but they're not quite as big as many. However, you can tell from this picture here, they are a stout, thick lizard. Look strong, they look heavy. They have this massive head, small appearing eyes, scales. And those scales, if you notice in the area, one of the interesting things about these, they have these little round dots on them. Those scales are actually called osteoderms, which are very small actual bones. They're little pearl-shaped bones in the scale. Now, their belly scales are free of those bones. In terms of color, you've got this, black with the pink to orange vermiculation. You're not really going to mistake a Gila monster for anything else. In terms of what they eat, they kind of eat whatever and whenever. There is claims that 3 to 4 big meals in the spring will give them enough energy for the entire season. Whether that's true or not, all I know is that they do eat whenever they come across suitable prey. If they come across something, they can eat it, they're going to eat it. In terms of what they eat, they have a very, very varied diet. Small mammals, rabbits, hares, mice, squirrels, rodents, birds, snakes, other lizards, frogs, insects, dead animals, eggs. They love to eat eggs. Eggs of birds, lizards, snakes, tortoises. They'll eat eggs of all species. But something about these are not a, super active predator. They're just kind of searching around, and their prey is usually crushed to death or eaten alive. So they either swallow them alive, they just kind of use their big, powerful jaws to just kind of crush them to death. And then they just use their neck muscle to basically swallow their food. And then after they eat, and this is something about it, how opportunistic predators work, is as soon as they actually consume that, they'll immediately start tongue flicking and searching for other foods. Such as, so if they eat a bird, they'll start searching for the eggs or the young and nests. Speaking of eggs, young and nests, Gila monsters are incredible climbers. They're able to climb trees, cactus, basically can even go up like a cinder block wall. So a real rough surface wall, they have no problem climbing it. But they have that extremely acute sense of smell. That's what they are primarily using, right? Not their eyes, they're using their sense of smell. Which, just like a snake, they're using their tongue, this really pigmented black-blue tongue. The real strong tongue, too. They use the tongue to help them. And it has the forked tip that you'd come to expect for lizards and snakes. Now, Gila monsters are a threatened species. They are listed as, near threatened, I guess I should say. They're not quite threatened. But something interesting is that in 1952, the Gila monster became the first venomous animal to be given legal protection. They're now protected in all. Just, something really, really interesting. But I know you've heard about it. These are venomous. They use bacteria in their mouths, like the Komodo dragon. If they bite you, they'll kill you. Well, that's actually just not really the case. The Gila monster does produce venom. However, it's not really from bacteria, as many people think. They actually do have modified salivary glands, just like snakes. But they're at the end of its lower jaws. Snakes' venom are in strong glands behind the eyes. So Gila monsters are back here on the bottom sort of the jaw. And then, in snakes, it bites, injects your venom. Well, a Gila monster, it has really thick fangs, teeth, that are wave set back in the throat. And it's got these really thin tubes that run up the side of the tooth, or groove, basically. And by capillary action, something I encourage you to look up, that venom will actually travel up the tooth, and it kind of sits there. And then when they bite into something they're trying to it, they're actually doing it. They chew. Instead of injecting the venom, they chew and use thick teeth that tear up the muscle, get the blood flowing, and that's what allows the venom to into the victim or prey, whatever they're using. Those teeth are strong and tightly anchored. In fact, it's crazy how strong their teeth are. Something about this, we talk about aposomatic coloring. That kind of seems to be the case here. Their venom is much more than likely self-defense than actually for prey, because you think about what these things eat. They're eating very small mammals, birds, eggs. Those things really aren't going to get away from a Gila monster, so it's probably much more of the venom is much more, and its coloring is, leave me alone, I will cause you to be in pain. It's not really for that case. It's not like a rattlesnake that is using its venom to essentially stop their prey from. The venom of the Gila monster is actually considered to be as toxic of that as the diamondback rattlesnake. However, they do get a seriously bad rap, as most animals, venomous animals, do get. There have been no official reports of fatalities documented after 1930. So it's very, very rare. Now, there have been plenty of bites. In fact, one zoologist reporter said that it was the absolute worst pain he had ever experienced in his life. But I know you kind of thought that was the interesting fact. However, that's not the interesting fact. The interesting fact is actually about their eggs. So egg development and hatching time in the wild has always been kind of like, I shouldn't say always, been big source of speculation. Basically, when do they lay eggs and when do the young hatch? One model stated that the young Gila monsters hatched in the fall and then stay underground, which didn't really fit in. Second theory said that a nearly developed embryo remained inside the eggs over winter and then hatch in the spring. Basically, one said they hatch, stay underground. The other said they stay in the egg over the winter and then hatch in there. This all came to a stop in 2016 in October. A backhoe was digging in Arizona, and the backhoe actually wound up just collecting a nest of Gila monsters that were in the process of hatching. So it is now known that Gila monsters hatch near the end of October and then just immediately go into hibernation. Then they come out during the late spring when prey should. So it's really interesting. I don't know if there are any other species in the world that will have young hatch and then immediately go into hibernation as soon as they're hatching. Really interesting. Thank you guys so much again. I really appreciate it. I hope again, sorry that it's been so long since we've had a Herp Monday. Trying to get them back in. Please go check out our Fish Fridays. That has been a consistent series. Can't thank you enough. Thank you guys so much again. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And peace.